Today we're going to start in the prophets. And the first book of the prophets in TaNaKH is actually Joshua. We're going to begin in Joshua 1, verse 1, the first book of the Nevi'im. Vahi acharei mot Moshe eved Adonai. So Joshua begins after the death of Moses. So in the Torah we meet Joshua, who was of the number of the children of Israel that wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. We learn that there was a generation of people that did not believe that they were capable of going into the promise of God. They got a glimpse of the promise. They saw that there was an enemy that dwelled in the land, and they did not believe that they were capable of possessing the land. We also read in the Torah that that generation of people would not be allowed to possess the land, but instead there would be a generation that would rise up in their place to possess that land, and Joshua would be the leader of that generation. We learn also that Moses, in the Torah, we learn that Moses was not able to go into the promised land because of an incident at the waters of strife. Moses struck the rock the second time, and the Lord told him that he was not able to go into the promised land. And from that we learn that what Moses represents, being the law, that by the law we cannot enter the promise, but it is by faith. Moses was allowed to see the promise. Moses was allowed to describe the promise, just as the law can describe the promise, and just as the law can cause you to see the promise. But the one who takes you into the promise is one that rises up in the place of Moses. And that's why this is written for our learning, that there was a man that stood up named Yehoshua that was going to take in a generation of people that would believe the report and go in and seize upon their inheritance. So the events in Joshua are recorded after the death of Moses. Now we learned something about the death of Jesus Christ in Brit Hadashah, in the new covenant, that the handwriting of ordinances that was against you, that were contrary to you, that you comprehended by the law, were put to death with Jesus when he was crucified. So the law died in Jesus to impart to you the promise that the law describes. What it means is that the law has been fulfilled in the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So Joshua starts off with the death of Moses, who was incapable of leading a people into the promise, and begins with the beginning of the administration of Joshua, the son of Nun, who would take the people into their inheritance, who would conquer the land, and who would divide it for all of the children of Israel, each according to his inheritance.